Listen, I don't mean to sound vain. I look so good in green. Ow. Why? Okay, listen to me. Why do bottle cap makers make the caps so painful? Is it like some sort of like safety thing I'm unaware of? I don't know what to do with myself. Good God. My hair is so flat. Okay, can we take into account how shiny and soft my hair looks when I do that? Look at the front. Like I'm in a hair commercial. 1 second, I'm like, my hair is so flat, I hate it. And then I'm like, I should literally be in a hair commercial. Okay. Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Today's video idea came because I was going through my Goodreads and I noticed some books that I'd rated 5 stars and I was like, I don't even like that book. Or that was definitely 5 stars when I started getting back into reading. So I was about to change them, but then I thought it could be kind of fun to go through all of my 5-star reads and rank them in terms of like if they should still be or not. So fun for us. Okay, let me screen record. Top tier is This Book Is in My DNA. This book is 5 stars, 6 stars. I think about it all the time. It's just like if you think of Kylie in books, you'll probably think of this because I talk about it so much. The next tier is I stand by this. If I read this today, I would still give it 5 stars. Next tier, baby reader rating, meaning I can see how I rated this 5 stars when I read it. This will apply to like a lot of Colleen Hoover books that were definitely, oh my God, why am I still congested? When I read it, I give myself the grace that it was 5 stars at the time. Even if I read it today, it wouldn't be 5 stars now. Next category is, did I even like this book? Some of these, like, I've talked about on this channel that I didn't even like them. You'll see a couple of them. And then I don't remember reading this is the lowest because it's like, how did I give it a 5 star and I can't even remember like the basic plot? You know? So let's get started. All your perfects, you guys know, this book is in my DNA. I might make a whole video about like my Colleen Hoover opinions. Something that has changed in my rating system is I feel like I need to take less into account if I agree with the actions that happened in the book. For example, I didn't like Magnolia Parks at all, but people rate it 5 stars, and that doesn't mean that they enjoy toxic relationships. You know what I mean? All this to say, all your perfects, I understand that there's like the cheating trope in it. But honestly, and I've said this to Colleen when I met her, I think that this is a perfect look into the human mind in a marriage where somebody has endometriosis and infertility. And I feel uniquely qualified, obviously, as a married woman who has endometriosis. And honestly, this book helped me to like communicate with Nathan better about like my endo and infertility and family planning. Anyway, this book is in my DNA and I love it. Assistant to the villain. I can't decide if this, I mean, it's at least I stand by this. This book is in my DNA seems a little bit, I would like to reserve it for higher, but I mean, it's kind of in my DNA though. I'm obsessed with that book. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't allow myself to think about this book very much because because there's a sequel coming out. And I'm anxious to know what happens next. And so I don't let myself think about it too much or I get worked up. So actually, let's put this here. If I can't even think about the book because I get too emotional, it's probably my DNA. Okay, Good Girl, Bad Blood. Which one was that? The second one? In this trilogy, the first was the best. So I would give this 4 stars now. But I liked it. So let's put it in baby reader rating. Beach reads in my DNA. We know this. Book lovers, I stand by this. You know what? I'm actually going to make a list of rereads that I want to do. I did one for Beach Read, and it was really fun to like go through it again and re-annotate it and see if it's still 5 stars. I think book lovers would be good for that. Okay, By a Thread. Here's my problem. I'm trying to remember what it's about, and it's not that I don't remember reading this. Actually, how about we reread By a Thread? That could be a good one. I like this little series, By a Thread. All right, I'm going to put it right now, and I stand by this because I remember loving it. I remember it's like a 600-page romance, and I read it quick, and I read it at the beach. Not that that affects the reading. The Confidence Code. Nonfiction books are kind of hard, but I really, really enjoyed this book. Oh, it's probably my nonfiction shelf. I'm going to put I stand by this. It's a book about like the science behind courage, especially in women, and how to like gain confidence to like speak up and all this stuff. And I really, really enjoyed it. If I can get through a nonfiction book, it's probably 5 stars. Court of Mist and Fury in my DNA, Wings and Ruin in my DNA. I'm not talking about it, guys. I swear to God. Anyway, okay. Where the Crawdads Sing, that's a baby reader rating. I liked it when I read it. I think that the plot was fun, the characters were fun, but just like looking back on it, it doesn't like smack me in the face as a 5 star anymore. Daisy Jones and the Six, I stand by this. Is it in my DNA? I don't really think so. I think Daisy Jones and the Six is one of the most unique books that I've ever read because it's written like a script. It's like you're reading a documentary, and I think it's so good, and the stories are so good. 8 Perfect Murders, I'm going to stand by this. I thought it was such a creative plot line. It's about a man who runs a crime and mystery bookstore who wrote an article for his bookstore's blog about the 8 perfect murders in fiction, and then somebody started doing the murders on the list, and so he's helping like the FBI find the person. It Ends With Us. Listen, I stand by this. And I know people have problems with it, but here's my take really, really quickly. I don't think that it glorifies domestic violence at all. I think that it makes you fall in love with Ryle just like she does. And I mean, I have never experienced or personally known somebody who's experienced this to this extent. And so maybe I'm naive and ignorant to things, but as I read it, I fell in love with Ryle at the beginning when he was nice and sweet. And then I remember the first time something happened and she was like, okay, if it happens again, I'm out. And I wrote, yeah, that makes sense. Because I feel like it's a perfect narrative on being in that situation. And I think it humanizes people who are in that situation and struggle to get out of it. I mean, if you liked Ryle at the end of the book, that's a you problem. 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I stand by this. That book is fantastic. Oh, I should reread this. I'm like screaming. 7 Husbands. You know what's funny is I'm currently reading The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and I keep calling her Evelyn Hugo. A False Start. This is the only book from the Gold Rush Ranch series that had 5 stars, and I stand by it. I think I was much more critical of that series because it was later in my reading. And this was actually the last book in that series. I think it was 4th. And I'm always worried about as we get near the end of a romance series because the people get further and further away from the main group. But I was obsessed with this couple. I was obsessed with how maturely they handled things. And anyways, Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. Listen to me. I don't even own that book anymore. Which means I either lost it in a move or I donated it. I quite literally could not tell you the plot of this book. It's the prequel to We Were Liars. Final Offer. See, this is funny because baby reader rating is also going to apply to books that like right after I was like, great. And then I looked back and I was like, I mean, good. It was fine. Now the fine print, did I even like this book? I liked it at the time, but like, listen, guys, it has a catfish trope, and I hate those. I don't know why I rated it 5 stars. I need to like take a beat before I rate things. House of Flame and Shadow. You guys know now that that's a 4 star now, but I'll still stand by it right now because I'm in charge and I can do what I want. The Flat Chair, did I even like this book? I don't even remember liking this book. I think I remember being like, this is a waste of my time and your time. Flawless, this book's in my DNA. You guys know this book's in my DNA. I'm looking at my Flawless poster that I made. It says, you were out there this whole time and now I know you exist and I can never go back. Wouldn't want to if I could. This book is the reason I own a cowboy hat. Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing. I stand by this. It used to be in my DNA, but after the sequel, I've removed it. I've had DNA-ical surgery. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I stand by this too. I think that's the perfect YA murder book. It's one that I like definitely recommend to new readers. And I think it's perfect. Hawthorne Legacy, I don't remember reading it. That's the second one. The first one was so good, and then the rest, and you guys know that love triangle. Oh, I'm pissed. Heartbones. See how I just smile when I even look at it? I stand by this. I should reread that. Heartbones is another Colleen Hoover book, and I just thought it was the most precious thing. Heartless in my DNA. Those two are probably my favorites of the whole series. We Hide from the Light. That's the second book in the Things We Never Got Over, the Knock 'Em Out. I'm going to put that in a baby reader rating because I didn't really like it that much. Hopeless. Baby reader rating. I mean, like when I put it down, I was like, yes! And I almost feel like I can't give any Chestnut Springs books less than 5 stars because I love the series so much, but it just wasn't my favorite. Oh, good God. This is Hopeless. Actually, let's put it right here. I can understand why at the time that I read it, I was like, oh yeah. But now looking back, I'm like, Icebreaker, listen, I stand by this. I know there's a lot of Icebreaker haters, but I love it. I think they're so cute. Imperfect Courage, I don't remember reading this, and looking back, I feel like it was an MLM scam. Indigo Ridge, I stand by this. I don't think it's in my DNA, but this is the first of the Eden series. Oh, the Eden series might be in my DNA, though. But look, let's go right here. Juniper Hill, that book's in my DNA. That book's in my DNA. That's the second one. Oh, the Eden series, you guys. I love it. Inheritance Games, I stand by this. Similar to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I think it's a perfect YA book. My Killer Vacation. Okay, I'm going to put this in baby reader rating, even though I also kind of stand by it, because I feel like I stand by it in my heart, but in my like knowledge of how good a book is, I know it's... I love it. You know what? I stand by it. I think it's so fun. I love a fun little romance. Okay, listen, Things We Left Behind, I hated that book. I don't understand. I left that book thinking, there's no way this couple stays together. So I don't know why it's there. Loath to Love You, baby reader rating, just because it's 3 novellas rather than like a big old book. Local Woman Missing, I stand by this. Great mystery. I mean, I know some people hate it, but I don't really know why. Love in Other Words, I stand by this. Oh, that needs to be a reread. I remember this being the first time I was like, that miscommunication trope makes sense. Love Hypothesis, I stand by that. That was like a crazy reading experience for me. I loved it. Love on the Brain, I need to reread that. And Love Theoretically. Love on the Brain. Love Theory. But for now, I'm going to put these in baby reader rating just because I absolutely love Allie Hazelwood. Love Redesigned. Oh yeah, I stand by this. Sorry, I had to remember. I've read so many. Listen to Me. I don't even know if I liked this. I didn't read the in-between one, and looking back at it, I'm kind of like, this is so toxic. And again, just because it's toxic doesn't make it like not a good book, but I just didn't enjoy reading it. I was like, I can't root for anybody. Measure of a Man. Guys, listen to me. This book's in my DNA. That's a Hermione fanfic. And it's longer than War and Peace. And it's one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. I loved that book. It's about Hermione is like a doctor now, and she takes a job to take care of Narcissa Malfoy, like end of life care kind of. She has Alzheimer's. So she's at the house like all the time. And Draco is there, and his wife, I think it's Daphne Greengrass, died a couple years back, and he has his son Scorpius. Guys, I'm telling you, I didn't know how many pages it was. I just read it all and then was like, oh, that's over 1,000 pages. Mindhunter. I stand by this. That's John Douglas, FBI guy, Criminal Minds type stuff. One of his books. And I really, really liked it. Brandon Sanderson, Mistborn, that's in my DNA right now, especially Kelsier, one of the characters. That man. And Elend, one of the characters. Oh my gosh. Some of the best book characters that have ever happened in the universe. Things We Never Got Over is also in my DNA. That's Knock 'Em Out series, the very first one with Knox and Naomi. Oh my gosh. That book. I love that book. 9 Lives by Peter Swanson. I'm going to say I stand by that. That's one where 9 people get a letter with 9 names on it, including their own. But the first one is found dead with the note, and then I won't tell you anymore. November 9th. It's definitely a baby reader rating. I still think, like, it's insane. I still think it's insane, and the plot twist is crazy. And oh my gosh, just the idea of November 9th, like meeting up. Love. Love, love, love. Do I think that Ben is a great person? I don't. Listen, I'm not really rooting for the couple at the end of the day, but it was a great book. It was a great story to read. One of Us Is Next. I don't remember reading this. One of Us Is Lying is a baby reader rating, probably. This is between baby reader rating and I stand by this because I read it so long ago, but I remember thinking it was kind of like a Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like a really good YA. It Happened One Summer is a baby reader rating, although I love that book. I do love that book. One True Loves, I stand by this. Another book that's a perfect narrative on the human emotion. The Paper Palace. All I remember from this book is some of this month. I'm not gonna lie. People We Meet on Vacation. I hated that book. You guys, I told you many times that in terms of like Emily Henry books, I hated People We Meet on Vacation. Phantom Prince, My Life with Ted Bundy. I stand by this. I think it's also kind of hard when somebody pours their heart out like this to rate it anything less than 5, but I thought it was an insanely good book as well. Piano Man, I'm going to put that in. I don't remember reading this. That's a Hermione and Theodore Knott fanfic. I remember liking it, but I don't remember anything that happens. Powerless is a baby reader rating. Like now that's not my favorite couple at all. Same with, I'm not saying anything else. Pride and Premeditation. I liked it. I don't think it's 5 stars. I think it's a really fun read. Reckless is the 4 Chestnut Springs series. Baby reader rating or just like instinctive. I love Chestnut Springs and I love the feelings that I have, but again, the couple's not my favorite. Listen, Reminders of Him, I stand by this. And I know there's cringe things in it, but I loved this story. I just love how she like tackles such complex situations. If you've read that, oh my gosh. Secretly Yours, I didn't even like this book. It had Catfish Anonymous letters things. It Starts With Us. That's a baby reader rating. I barely remember reading it. You know what? I don't even know if I liked it. I kind of just felt like It Ends With Us was a great story, and I didn't really need more. The Silent Patient. I stand by this. I loved that book. I didn't see the plot twist coming. I know people said they did. Not me. Twisted Games. That's a baby reader rating. I think that was like I'm reading the Twisted series, and thank God this one didn't leave me feeling icky. I do love the couple, but like Ugly Love I think is in everybody's baby reader rating. I loved it. I devoured it in a day, less than a day. I think I read that and November 9th in the same day one summer. Looking back, I'm kind of like, you're kind of hard to root for. Couple more. Verity. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I really liked Verity. I'm gonna put in I stand by this. Yeah, that was a scary book. That was a scary book. Wait for You. I don't remember reading this. It's such a pretty cover. Maybe I should reread that one. Okay, Without Merit. I don't even think I liked that book. It was just kind of, huh? That's what it made me feel. You Again. I remember loving that book, but I don't remember it enough. It's not that I don't remember reading it, but I don't remember it enough for it to have been a 5 star. The cover is 6 stars though. You'll Be the Death of Me was like an offshoot of The One of Us Is Liars, and I don't remember reading that at all. I can't believe I bought all of those in hardcover too. Who am I? I don't remember reading that one at all. Love in the Time of Zombie Apocalypse. Listen, it's in my DNA. That's another Hermione fanfic. About a zombie apocalypse. And listen. It sounds stupid. And I put off reading it for a really long time because I was like, that sounds kind of stupid. It's so good. So good. Oh my gosh. Although there's one thing Hermione did in there that made me actually want to punch her in the face, but you know, we get over it. All right, so those are my tier rankings of all the books that I've given 5 stars on Goodreads. Oh, I did leave out, like when I first made my Goodreads, I put like a bunch of the Percy Jackson and Harry Potter books in 5 stars because I was just trying to get them onto my read and I didn't really think about it too much. Thank you for watching my video and I'll see you next week.